What's good, Detroit Sports Nation? I am Eric Vincent, a host, a writer, and a contributor here at DSN. And stepping in today, debuting as your new host of the DSN News Desk. And man, it feels so good to be sitting in this seat. I'm so excited if you can't tell already. This is a dream come true experience to be sitting up here doing what I love, talking about my first love, our beloved Detroit sports, with you, the greatest fan base in the entire world. I've been in the Detroit sports media and fan base as long as I can remember. I've been a lifelong fan since I was a kid, playing for, Little League and basketball and football. Literally covered sports in the media circuit as well. I worked for Bleacher Report, writing for them back in 2012. Used to work and record for WDFN as well, doing some radio work in the Detroit sports media. And I used to also write for DSN in 2017. Took a little bit of time off and now stepping back in with an amazing opportunity to be here. And again, I cannot thank you all for having me and being in this seat to go over some awesome news and some great times coming up in the Detroit sports world. But even though I'm in this good mood now, it's not always happy, it's not always great, and it's okay to let off some of that frustration. So we're going to do that together right now. We're going to take a step in a direction that I thought we had already passed. But it's okay, we're used to this. We're used to things in the Detroit sports world of being disrespected, overlooked, and acting like, we're this, as the world likes to coin, a poverty franchise. And that's okay. That's okay, because we know the real. And that's why I wanted to be back in this seat in the first place. We've seen all the headlines in national media talking about Detroit sports, basically sounding like they just looked this up on Wikipedia yesterday. And that's why I want to be here, and that's why I'm so excited to be handling these kind of topics and getting into the most important things that we need to do. Starting with Mr. Richard Jefferson. So, the ESPN NBA Today crew were going over the bombshell that was Kevin Durant when he requested a trade away from the Brooklyn Nets. He finally had enough, was ready to take on a new step. And as of right now, no trade has happened, but, that was the talk of the town when the news dropped about a week ago. So the crew was discussing this and was talking about the possible packages that it would take in order to acquire Kevin Durant. One of the popular teams that's been mentioned as a possibility of getting his services are the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors, great young team, a lot of versatile talent, and a lot of assets that could possibly sway in that direction. And they seem like a feasible team. Again, it doesn't maybe seem like Kevin Durant's forte of the championship contenders he likes going to, but it makes sense to be interested in having, them in the discussion. But that wasn't the majority of the conversation. That's not it. It didn't just stick in that room. It didn't stay there. Richard Jefferson and the crew were talking about, the pieces and the players that would potentially have to go in this deal. And one name that came up was well-noted 2021 Rookie of the Year, Scottie Barnes. Forward of the Toronto Raptors, very fine player, and has a very great upside in the NBA. And as Detroit Pistons fans, we have no need to be worried about that. We have our guy. We're confident in our pick. We see us moving in the right direction with this team and this franchise, and that's what matters most. But it's just the little things like what Richard Jefferson did last week that just stick in our craw, that just get under our skin, even when we try to move past it. We were okay and moving past Cade Cunningham not winning Rookie of the Year last season. It is what it is. We had moved past it. We thought everybody else had let it go. Cade is going to get his rightful respect and recognition through the fans and the Detroit media that covers him accordingly. But that doesn't take anything away from the national media's ability to take shots at him. So Richard Jefferson is talking about what it could possibly take for the Raptors to lure Kevin Durant, and a name that came up with Scottie Barnes. It wasn't just mentioning him as a possible option to be a part of a deal. It also came with a quote of blasphemy to discredit Cade Cunningham, which we've been seeing since he put on the Buffs and said he wanted to come to Detroit to be the number one overall pick last season. So let's get into this quote, shall we? Let's go word for word. Scottie Barnes was the second best rookie this year. I know he was Rookie of the Year, but he was the second best rookie this year. If we were to redraft, I'm pretty sure Evan Mobley would go number one. Why are we doing this? Why is this still happening? It seems like, again, when people talk about Detroit sports that clearly don't know what they're talking about, it makes it look and sound so bad, and we see it instantly. To think that it would be anybody but Cade Cunningham, the number 1 overall pick, the consensus number 1 pick, the scouts were calling the most complete player and prospect they had seen in almost a decade. All of a sudden now, with this revisionist history, with this new favoritism for these Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes, to now call them the odds-on favorites to be the number 1 overall pick over Cade Cunningham. And then dig this too. He said Scotty was the number 2 rookie in the NBA. So he obviously say that Evan Mobley was number 1. So it's not to say that Evan Mobley would go number 1 and Cade would go 2. With this credit he's giving Scotty Barnes, basically insinuating that Scotty would go number 2 and Cade would be the 3rd pick in the draft. Why are we doing this? What in the world are we watching? This is exactly why I wanted to come back and address this in this seat. We all know, there's little doubt of what we see from Cade Cunningham. The Pistons fan base was just fine enough knowing that we didn't Darko another situation. So now knowing that we have a suitable number 1 franchise guy that wants to be here, that makes his teammates better, that not just lived up to his expectations as a number 1 pick, surpassed them, and the national media is still treating this guy as if he's some second-round player that's still trying to find his way in the league. All these narratives just gonna keep scrambling around Cade Cunningham. They did it enough with the slow start narrative they played last season, when his perimeter jump shot would fall down, but they acted like he had to be sent off to the G League or Siberia to rework his entire game, when we know he was the best rookie hands down all season. Started off at 15 points a game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and never dipped from that. And all of a sudden, they're treating this guy like he's a project still trying to figure it out. Cade, nobody had the kind of max or peak that Cade Cunningham had in his rookie season. We're going to pay him his proper respects and give him his flowers because that's what we do in Detroit. We want our sports to be represented correctly. This has to stop. I don't care if you like Scotty Barnes. I don't care how much you like Evan Mobley. Do your research and get your understandings together when discussing the players that represent this city and these teams. Because these takes that are coming out are absolutely blasphemous. But it's okay, because that's why I'm here. And that's why you're here, because we're going to take care of it, we're going to handle it, and make sure all narratives that are about our teams are spot on at all times. That's what we're going to be doing in this seat and making sure everything is handled right. I appreciate you guys sitting up here, taking the time to check it out with me. Please let me know in the comments what you think about it as well. Again, we're going to pay Cade and our stars and our players their proper respects. If I'm tripping, please let me know. Tell me, hey, Eric, relax. It's not a big deal. We got our guy. It's no need to be discussing this no more. Maybe we can just shoo Richard Jefferson off. And if that's the case, cool. Let me know. Let me know. Also, check out the article as well. It's up on DSN right now, DetroitSportsNation.com. You can check it out. Article written by myself. Plenty more Pistons, Lions, and all Detroit sports coverage coming very soon. So excited to keep sitting in this seat. Make sure you're following us on all socials. Search us. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the above. Detroit Sports Nation, that's us. I am Eric Vincent. Those are my socials. You can follow me as well. And I'll be right back to kick it with you again soon. Thank you for checking it out. Peace.